Hey, my name is Madison Hood, and for my persuasive speech, I'm going to try to persuade you not to drink, smoke, or dip, chew, and tobacco. For most of you, you might say that that's asking a whole lot, and for some of you, it really may be. But here's my main reason for asking you not to do these things, and that's oral cancer. Oral cancer can be found on your lip, your gum, your cheek, the bottom of your mouth, your sinuses, the top and the back of your throat, and the soft and hard palate. It's a sore, a lump, an eroded spot on any of those places that never really seems to go away. The swelling that it causes makes it hard for you to breathe or to eat or just to swallow, spit, or drink. You have difficulty chewing as well because of the soreness and because of the swelling around your joints. Men have 2 times greater chance than women of obtaining oral cancer, and men over the age of 50 have 2 times even greater chance of obtaining it than the younger people do. The most popular ways, I guess you could say, of obtaining oral cancer are through cigar and pipe smoking, cigarette smoking, and through alcoholism. Cigar and pipe smokers have a 6 times greater chance of obtaining it, whereas alcoholics only have a 3 to 4 times greater chance of obtaining it. The greatest chance you have of catching oral cancer, however, is through dipping. Hence why I ask you not to do it. Excessive sun exposure can also make you have it, but it's mostly when you're young, so be sure to wear sunscreen. But you don't think that you have to be an alcoholic or a pack-a-day smoker to get oral cancer. 25% of people who had oral cancer last year were just binge drinkers. Had a whole lot of fun Thanksgiving, drank too much Christmas, you might go to a party New Year's, and then Valentine's Day is coming up. Yeah, those kind of drinkers. So be careful, because even the smaller things, just having drinks every now and then, can hurt you in the long run. The 1-year survival rate of people with oral cancer is 81%. And that sounds like a lot of people surviving a whole year, right? But what about the other 19%? Last year, 37,000 people had oral cancer just in the U.S. So 19% of 37,000 people, that's a lot of people that don't even make it another year to see their kids, their grandkids, their family, to work, to do whatever that they want to do. A year isn't a long time. The 5 to 10 year success rate of survival is only 41 to 50%. That's a lot of people. That's almost half the people not even making it 5 to 10 years. And 5 to 10 years is not a long time when you think that that's all you have left. Treatment for it depends on what stage you're in. You can have surgery, radiation and surgery, or you can have radiation, surgery, and chemotherapy, which is pretty rough. And after any of those things, no matter what your stage is, you have to have regular therapy. And then after extensive regular therapy with an occupational or physical therapist, you may have to have another kind of surgery to help with your salivary glands, to help you chew, to help you swallow, or maybe even with your taste buds to help you taste, because sometimes you have to have pieces of your tongue taken out. Usually in surgery, what that is, they take out the places where the cancer cells are and then surrounding tissue to make sure that it hasn't spread without people knowing it. And you think, oh, it's not much, you don't take out much, but just think in the small section of your mouth taken out just this much and then what's around it, that's noticeable and people will notice. To prevent oral cancer, it could be pretty easy. You should do a self-checkout of yourself once a month and always go to the dentist. And I know that sounds like a lot, going to the dentist, because I know some people are terrified of going. And I'll admit, I don't really like going either. I don't like somebody looking at my mouth with those sharp, pointy objects and mirrors, and it's freaky, but it's worth it in the long run to not get things like oral cancer. But like I said, 37,000 people had oral cancer just in the U.S. last year. And out of that 37,000, 1 person died an hour. That's 24 people dying a day just in America, just through oral cancer. That's not including the other tons of cancers that people have in America today. That's a lot of people dying just due to this one cancer that we could prevent. But I must have to say, another way that you can obtain oral cancer is through genes. It can also be genetic, just like many other kind of cancers. So if you've had a parent, a grandparent, a brother, a great-great-uncle that had it, go to the doctor and get checked out, because it's definitely worth ruling that out and making sure. Of the 36,000 of the newly diagnosed people of that 3,700, only 57% of them made it past 5 years. Like I said, that 19% sounds like a whole lot less than you really think it is. $3.2 billion was spent just last year on face and neck cancer patients. That's a lot of money. And after a while, insurance doesn't pay for that kind of stuff. It's a lot of money that's having to come out of your pocket. So just think about how much expenses that could cost too, plus the pain for your family. And honestly, I can say that I've seen the way that oral cancer can hurt people. There's a man in a surrounding town here. He's a young man, not old, not, in his 80s, not even in his 50s. He's a young man. And he had oral cancer because he decided to dip and to smoke and to drink. And it was in his sinuses, and in his throat, and it was in his mouth. He had to have his sinuses taken out, his nose taken off, parts of his gum. They had to take his teeth out. They had to take parts of his throat out. They had to take his whole entire tongue out. So he's a young man, bedbound, with a trach because he can't breathe on his own, a feeding tube because he can't eat on his own, and he's bedbound with half of his face missing. A young man, not in college, not starting on a career like most young men that you think should be. He's bedbound in a nursing home. So just think before you do such things. Please think twice before you dip, before you drink, before you smoke a cigar, before you smoke a cigarette. Just think about the consequences and what it could do to you and your family. Thanks.